ladies. Maybe. We're back. Last video, we finished the B's finally. Now we're going to start the C's. I got a small stack here. First up, we're listening to Archgoat. This is the Apocalyptic Triumphator. This is their most recent album. Came out, the tape version came out on Darkest Attack Records, which is Pure Wrath from Black Witchery. It's his label, and he gave this to me one night. We were playing a show together. But I have their other stuff on vinyl, but I don't have this. I only have this one on tape. But I mean, you have. I don't mean this in a bad way. If you have one Archgoat record, you have all the Archgoat records. They continue to get better, but Archgoat sounds like Archgoat. Very bestial, just devastatingly heavy black metal. But Archgoat, it's good shit. If you know who Archgoat is, you should know what they sound like. Anyway, into the CDs. Into the C's. Here we go. Cadaver Crematorium. What a stupid fucking band name, and what a stupid cover. This is still sealed. From that giant CD trade I did several years ago. This is called Serial Grinder. I'm sure this sounds fucking terrible, but Cadaveric Crematorium is just a dumb name. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I'll never open this and listen to it, but we'll see. I'll put a link below. By the way, in all my videos, I've been putting links to everything in the description, so I hope that you guys are checking stuff out. If you want me to keep doing that, if you like that, let me know. For whatever reason you don't like it, I don't understand why you wouldn't. Okay, next. Here's a biggie. Cannibal Corpse. Who doesn't like Cannibal Corpse? One of the first death metal bands I ever got into. No, I did not get into them because I saw them in Ace Ventura. I remember being at a buddy of mine's house. I don't know, 9th grade, somewhere in there. And he put on Cannibal Corpse. And this kid wasn't into metal at all. But someone let him hear it, and he just liked how absurd it sounded. But I heard it, and I just thought, oh, this is fucking amazing. So I've been a Cannibal Corpse fan, you know, for over 20 years. My favorite Cannibal Corpse record, and easily top 5 favorite death metal records of all time, Tomb of the Mutilated. So this record is just ground zero for brutal death metal, I feel. Some people are more Butchered at Birth fans. Some people think they really hit their stride with the bleeding. But no, man, Tomb of the Mutilated is it. It is the apex. You know, they got up to the top of the mountain with this one, and they started going down the other side. I bought this at a used CD store when I was in high school. We had a used CD store where I lived. This is an original pressing, original Metal Blade pressing. Not that I'm not a what's the word I'm looking for? I don't care like what edition it is of a record with most things. But it's cool that this happens to be an original pressing. I have an original pressing of this on vinyl. I actually have the original Russian press of this on vinyl. In 1993, Cannibal Corpse went to Russia for the first time, and they did a special pressing of this record on vinyl for that tour on a label called Death City Records. And I don't know if Death City did anything but that record, but I have one of those Russian copies. And then I have a re-released version of it that came out several years ago with the shitty new logo. And just say no to the new Cannibal Corpse logo. Anyway, Tomb of the Mutilated is my favorite Cannibal Corpse album. I also have the censored version of Butchered at Birth. Censored version, meaning it has no artwork or lyrics in it. It's just an insert. CD. This is an original pressing from 1991, but it's the original censored version. So, same music. And I have Eaten Back to Life. This is an original 1990 press on Death Records and Metal Blade Records. I say that I'm not a special edition whore, but here, I mean, this was first pressing. This was the first pressing. When you've liked a band like Cannibal Corpse as long as I have, there were only first pressings when I got into them. So, I have The Bleeding, and this is also the censored version of The Bleeding. A lot of people, if you're not a big Cannibal Corpse fan, you may not know, well, it's not in here, that this is just the center of a much larger painting that was intended to be the cover. I really like The Bleeding, but I don't like it as much as the others, Butchered at Birth and Tomb of the Mutilated. I have Vile. I love Vile. Vile's a great record. First record with George Fisher on it. And then I've got two later era records. I have Gore Obsessed, and I say later era, even though this one's 16 years old. Ah, that makes me feel fucking old. I remember buying this, but I used to have the Gallery of Suicide on tape, and I don't know what happened to it. I bought it brand new at Camelot Records when it came out, $8, and I don't know what happened to it, but I also have Bloodthirst, and I feel like Bloodthirst and Gore Obsessed and The Wretched Spawn came out after that, all kind of go together. They're real samey. I have The Wretched Spawn. I have a cardboard promo sleeve copy of that, and I had another one of the latter day records that I sold. I got rid of, and I can't remember which one it was now, but I liked the most recent Cannibal Corpse. Cannibal Corpse essentially is putting out the same record every 2 years, and they're tweaking it a little bit differently, but you know, they're a well-oiled machine. I've seen them a bunch. I saw them first on the Gallery of Suicide tour. That was really awesome. I've seen them several times since then, but with Cannibal Corpse, they're like a machine. They sound just like the records when they're playing live, and it almost gets a little boring. It's just like they turn a switch, they do their thing, they turn the switch off, and they're done. But I will get on kicks where I will listen to Cannibal Corpse for, you know, a week straight. That's all I'll fucking listen to. And I'll watch documentaries. There's a really good documentary on YouTube. It's like 3 hours long, all about Cannibal Corpse. It's a really good watch if you're a fan of the band. I've got several records of theirs. One of my most sought after vinyl grails is a record called The Death Board Recording, and it's from a live show in '93 or '94. It's a double LP. It's a soundboard recording that sounds fucking incredible. It's the original lineup of the band, and it's a really, really rare bootleg record. Anybody knows where I can get a copy of the Death Board LP, let me know. Anyway, enough rambling about Cannibal Corpse. Cannibal Corpse is awesome. I don't care what you say. Next, we have Carcass. This is the only Carcass CD I own, Symphonies of Sickness. I bought this when I was in high school. I love Carcass. You know, we were listening to Carcass the other day while I was doing one of these videos. I have several Carcass records. I'm really kind of an early Carcass purist, but I don't hate Heartwork. I really like a couple of songs on Heartwork, but as a whole, Heartwork gets really hard to listen to all the way through. Not a fan of Swan Song, but I did not like Surgical Steel. It didn't do it for me. And I have friends that love it. It's funny, Mike Seatown loves it, but hates the new At the Gates, and I'm the opposite. But I saw them on the Surgical Steel tour, and they were fucking killer. But I need to beef up my Carcass CD collection. I don't have a copy of Necroticism at all. I need to get a copy of it either on vinyl or CD. But I love Carcass. You know, they're a classic. They're the first gore grind band, essentially. You know, no death metal CD collection is complete without some Carcass. Next, we have Cardiac Arrest. This is Cadaverous Presence. Cardiac Arrest is a death metal band from Chicago. I have seen them. I saw them in Chicago in 2009, opening for Incantation, and they were fucking awesome. I may have gotten this then, but I have not listened to it much. I need to throw it on. Cardiac Arrest is kind of a thrashy, you know, death metal band, kind of gore-laced horror lyrics. They put out several records. I think this may be their first one. I'll have to look it up and see. But I'll have to throw this on and get reacquainted with it. Cardiac Arrest. Next, we have 2 Cattle Decapitation CDs. I am admittedly not a very big Cattle Decapitation fan, but when To Serve Man came out, I sampled it, and it sounds like old Carcass with kind of the slant of, you know, human versus animal. And this record's good. You know, it's just a good, like, Carcass-style death metal throwback. And then Humanure was the follow-up, and it's, you know, they're expanding on that sound. And then they went real left of center from there. And they've got several records since this one that I've never listened to. They're not a gore grind band at all anymore, to the best of my knowledge. But they're doing big things. I saw them play, I don't know, 10 years ago, and they were really good live. I enjoyed them. They put on a fun show. It was them and Cephalic Carnage, who I'm a bigger fan of. But I never, ever, ever listen to these. But I might, if I get on like a Carcass kick, it's usually like Carcass, the County Medical Examiners, and Cattle Decapitation. I've always hung on to these. I can't bring myself to get rid of them, but I'm not really a big fan. But I like these for what they were. Remember, fan of the album, not the band. Okay, now here's a band that I'm a fan of neither, and this is Cathedral. I have Forest of Equilibrium and Soul Sacrifice, and I cannot tell you how many times I've listened to these and I can't make it through them. I am not a Cathedral fan. It just doesn't do it for me. It's not the kind of doom I want it to be. I don't know what it is, and I haven't listened to these in so long, I can't even tell you what it is I don't like. But it's just, it's too groovy, it's too clean, it's almost like grungy sounding. At least that's what Soul Sacrifice always reminded me of. It's not what I expect. I need to throw them on and give them one last try, but I'm just not a Cathedral fan at all. So, I don't know. Let's talk about it in the comments. That's it for this stack. That's the beginning of the C's. This is a shorter video, I'm sure. I'm trying to not talk about so many, but I still like my videos to be about 20 minutes long. That seems to be a good length. But let's talk about these bands. Let's talk about Cannibal Corpse. Let's talk about Cathedral. We got any Cathedral fans out there? What am I missing out on? What am I not getting? I always feel like it's funny when everybody really, really likes a band, and then when I hear them, I'm like, I don't get it. It makes me think, you know, like, what do they understand that I don't understand? But I don't know. Let's keep it going. Keep commenting. Keep subscribing. Keep liking. Telling your friends. And we'll come back for more. Talk to you guys later.